Hello and welcome back. Today we're diving into Hakuro. So anyways, this is my build. I start with red mark. The reason I do that is for sustain because it gives you that nice life steal, which marksmen need in the beginning. Then we dive into Heaven's Thunder. The reason you want this item is because it helps you with wave clear. Because the quicker you clear the waves, the quicker you can roam and take objectives or grab jungle monsters. So wave clear is very important. Finally, we go for these boots. The reason we take this is just for sustainability for marksmen. Marksmen tend to have very bad mobility, especially for Hakuro. It's hard if people get on top of her, so she does, and she is pretty squishy. So this just kind of lets her kite better and then also stay alive. After that, we go into Hawk Bow. Hawk Bow lets you split your basic attacks, meaning it once again enhances your wave clear. And then also at this point, you're starting to get into team fights during the game. So with your first two offensive weapons, you have mechanics that help you do AoE damage. So that's another thing for marksmen. They tend to be very single target DPS oriented, but this lets Hakuro do split DPS, so she actually is a lot more relevant in large team fights, but she still does a ton of single target damage. Anyways, for the next thing, we go into Otenta, which is mainly for just damage. It gives us the attack damage, another 25% crit rate. At this point, you are at 50% crit with this build, and you are just hitting like a truck. And then the fifth item ends up being Tsurumadu. This is for the 30% arbor pen and then also a lot of damage. And then finally we upgrade our red mark Qatar into Onmyodo, and this is just because it gives tons of attack damage at 110 and then gives you great life steal, and it gives you kind of a snowball mechanic in that you get 10% of your health back every time you get an assist or kill an enemy. The last two items I add in queue are situational items that do come up for use, and if I end up needing them, I just like to have them already entered into my purchase queue so that I can sell something quickly and then replace them. Raja's Warhammer is mainly for survivability because of the 35% damage reduction, and then also the fact that it removes crowd controls. So sometimes when there's heavy crowd control or burst damage, I'll use this item to survive enemy assassins and such. And then finally, Amanozako's bow is just another thing that you can switch out if the enemy team has a lot of regen, right? So it still gives you attack speed in the crit, so you can switch it out basically for your hawk bow because it's the same type of stats, but the passive is different, and this passive is just good if you are against heroes that have a lot of regen. Anyways, finally moving on to the Onmyodo. I use very standard marksman. I think these are pretty agreed upon. Onmyodo for marksman, you want the 3% for movement speed. Once again, marksmen tend to be slow. You go for the attack speed, obvious benefits. The armor pen, pretty obvious. And then the life steal, once again, is for sustain. So I would not switch that out. I did see somebody, I play on both the Filipino and the Korean server, so I like to look at what they're doing with builds and what they're doing with Onmyodo different from each other, and actually the top person on the Filipino server actually uses 22 armor instead, and meaning he replaces this lifesteal with armor, and then he also replaces the movement speed with armor. So I am definitely going to try that at a later point, but for right now, this is my favorite. And then also finally, just the Sorcerer's Star to just highlight, I think this is great mechanic for people who have a lot of attack speed with marksmen's, because you're obviously going to be stacking up the effects of this much more. But anyways, that does it for my Hakuro build and Onmyodo review. And anyways, after this, we will be diving into my own personal gameplay. Hello and welcome back. Today we are diving into Hakuro. I am actually going to be playing her top. Normally I would play her bottom, but you all know how it goes in choosing. I actually had a lot of issue getting this gameplay footage because everybody wants to play marksman, and that obviously makes it hard to play. But finally I was just like, forget it, I'm going to play her, but I will just play her top or something like that. So anyways, I finally got her top, which finally let me actually play in a comp that's not completely a troll comp, but I can actually get gameplay footage. So Anyways, let's dive in here. I'm just focusing on poking, and last hitting is my main objective. So we are just going to do that. I'm going to hit her with the minions whenever I can with my other ability. So there, unfortunately, we lost it. So same thing. I'm going to pull the minions off to the side. The reason I do that is I don't want to miss any last hitting to the tower. So honestly, taking that little bit of excess damage is well worth making sure that I get last hit. When the minions are hidden behind other minions like that, the best way to last hit is actually to watch their health in the top and last hit based on that. So once again, every time she gets within the minions, I am going to also add damage that way. I got my haste up. This trade should be decent. She's going to win the original burst, but I should win the follow-up, like basically when she has to disengage and I still have heal like that, right? And then she had to blow her flash. So we know she's trying to come out. I'm watching her style. So we know she likes to come out of bushes. So anyways, I am going to account for that. Her jump like that. And next time I am probably going to try to flash when she jumps in, and then I can come back with more damage. But anyways, so from a range, I'm not going to get close. I want to get a little more lifesteal in. Fight starting. I really don't want to fight that. Get bad positioning. Same thing. I'm saving my ability to hit her with it. But still just focusing on last hitting. We see Kingyo coming up. We're going to get away. So just watching the minimap, being aware. We're both low. I'm going to look for... I'm probably going to go back after this because people are starting to get aggressive in their lanes. So from a range, get that quick. I'm going to let the tower hit it once and then ult. Boom, there we go. Okay, so we got that. I want to go back just so I can feel safe and be a little more aggressive. So she backed and then came back in, unfortunately, which means... Oh, actually, that was not her. Oh, yes, that was. Okay. So unfortunately, that's going to kind of make me miss out on some CS to the tower, but not too bad. Anyways, let's see how we're doing. She's 1,500 gold. I am 1,475. So she is ahead of me because of that last wave. But I'm still going to be pretty close because I should still get the last hit on 2 of these minions. And now if we look, yeah, 16 to... Actually, I'm ahead of her. So anyways, it worked out. And she used one of her summoners to get back to lane like that. So that's good. We're just going to kind of dodge and trade. And I'm watching the minimap to see if any enemies are coming. Right? I see a lot of people are bottom. Let's look. Do we want to help? Yeah, why not? So we got the Kingyo there. Okay. We still have that. She's in tower range, which is not good for her. So that trade still ended up well for her. Remember, her summoner was to get back, so she does not have heal. And she is in that bush, I believe. So she's waiting for me, but that's fine. Cool. So if you notice, she's sitting in that bush because she wants me to go up and be greedy. But at the same time, if you recognize that the person's in the bush, just sit back. So she just lost CS to the tower because she wanted to sit in the bush to basically bait me in. So, I mean, baiting people in with a minion wave is good. But if you know that you're getting baited, then don't fall for the bait. It's as easy as that. So anyways, that fight bottom is ending. You're starting to notice that I am winning the minion war here. I'm just zoning her from getting the CS is what I want to do. She had to use her jump away. I could have flashed there, but right now I'm not actually sure where their jungler is because I've been watching the minimap. I see 2 are bottom, but I haven't seen the jungler for a while since that last big fight. So anyways, I'm kind of saving my stuff for that. I'm going to get my resources back up and then run back to lane. So also she did the same if you noticed. So she's going to do that. I'm going to use my haste, get my mana up. And S1 on Hakuro is amazing because it lets you run faster. The reason I'm leveling it up, Hakuro is really slow and I want to get back to lane because I know that the enemy has that, I forget what it's called in this game, but basically she can recall herself to minions. So I know that I'm going to have kind of issues with her beating me to lane. So I am taking things that are going to help me. Okay, here again. So she likes that combo we can see. I did have to use both my summers there, unfortunately, but that should be her burst. I want to make sure she loses out here. And I'm going to use my... Oh, man. Okay. She outplayed me. I planned to use my ult to knock her back. I didn't realize that her ability would stun me out of my ultimate, so that's unfortunate. I think if my ult would have hit her with the stun and the damage, I should have been able to kill her and got away with a little bit of health. Anyways, we were winning lane, but unfortunately that does put us down in lane, so 32. Now she's about 150 gold ahead of me. And that's actually mainly because of the tower, or now with the tower, she's about 300 gold ahead of me. So that's unfortunate. That was just a misplay by me. And anyways, so our jungler's bottom. I'm going to start picking up jungle then in that case. I might even go mid. So we'll see. Right now, I just want to farm up. Unfortunately, my team seems to be doing very bad in these other fights that they're getting into. Our mid just died, so that's why now I'm going to go clear mid, because I know that my mid laner just died. And also, their mid seems to be camping bottom a lot, so I want to build pressure on other areas of the map so that it relieves that huge fight that just keeps happening bottom. Our jungler's still there, so I'm actually going to clear this wave, and then I'm going to grab the green giraffe. Okay, unfortunately, oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be an issue with marksman top, right? So marksman's issue is if people get on top of them, they're very squishy. And obviously, top laner, the samurai tend to be people who they get on you and they have good armor and do a lot of damage. So that is why you don't want to really run marksman top lane. We were kind of making it work, but unfortunately, I let myself get in bad position twice and I've got punished for it. So yeah, that's going poorly. At this point in the game, so I'm now the highest in my team for gold-wise, so even though I've been kind of doing poorly that way, it's still, my team's just doing a bad job. Okay, and again, okay, so this is probably going to be a major issue for me, and I'm not really sure the best way to get around it. I'm going to have to be really passive, but the problem is if I'm really passive is we're really going to have to drag this game out late. So unfortunately, I think that's going to be what we have to do. That's not exactly the most entertaining thing to watch ever, but I mean, it's kind of a necessity at this point. So I'm looking around to see if I should ult, but I don't want to. So see, she's doing that gank. Thankfully, my mid laner got some nice damage against her. I am going to use my ultimate here. Let's see if I can hit her. Nope, looks like I just missed her. And shoot the bushes. Okay, we saw her there. And unfortunately, she got back. But anyways, so that's that. She's 2 levels ahead of me. We know this is coming. I don't think I can kill it quick enough, so I'm going to pull it into the bush. And hopefully, I'm guessing she's going to just keep pushing the wave, and then I can get back and get the wave. Things mid are going okay. And remember, she hid in these bushes last time, so I'm just going to be safe. Yep, and there she is again. So this time, yeah, I'm kind of learning her attack pattern now, so dodging becomes a little bit easier. But anyways, unfortunately, her attack pattern has already worked for her a few times. Here, I already saw her to the top right in the jungle, so I know I'm safe if I position to the left side. But anyways, we got that. Gold, she's top on her team. She's clearing that wave. We already cleared that wave, so that tower, I don't need to rush back to that lane right away. But that does let us come and get some pressure on the enemy team. Let's see if we can get some kills here. Yep, so fortunately, our team got 1 kill there. We got 2 kills. Nice. Now we do kind of need to go back. But our marksman already went back the chin, if you can see. So that's why I'm staying to clear out the enemy's jungle, because we're in a resource fight right now. They're already way ahead of us. One of the great ways to catch up, and we see him coming on the river. And me and him can actually both go down and hopefully gank him. Enemies have res, though, so we need to be kind of careful. And we got 1 kill. Right? So we are starting to actually turn this around. I'm not going to chase too much. I will shadow my teammate, but I'm not going to heavily chase. Yeah, and see, they just went in that bush. So here we go. I'm going to help him with an ultimate, because I also see the Kudo, the enemy, coming up. Okay, and that was enough to scare him back and keep my enemy or my teammate alive. So I think that's a good job. I am happy with that. They're definitely positioning for to do Orochi. So for that, we just kind of got to be ready. I'm going to get this damage buff, right? And we're just trying to get our gold. As long as I see enemies in lane, then I'm feeling kind of better that they're not Orochiing. I think they're trying to push waves and then do it. But anyways, yep, and see, they're just kind of like ambushing us in our jungle, which is fine. I prefer they do that than they be getting Orochi. And it looks like they got caught out, and yep, we should get the kill there. Nice. This is actually going quite well. You see her recalling in on the bottom left here. So we can go and gank on that. If we can catch her, that would be really, really good. That means we can basically get Orochi for free. But anyways, the next big fight is most definitely going to happen around Orochi. And okay, it looks like the enemies are getting caught. This is awesome. They are definitely starting to throw. What they are doing is what you absolutely do not want to do when you're way ahead in games, which is start forcing fights deep in the enemy. So the enemy top laner did just gank our mid, unfortunately. But I will have, she did just use her combo, her alt combo to get that kill, so I should be semi-safe, okay, and of course, because I say I'm semi-safe, I'm zero safe, and get killed again. Anyways, gold-wise, yeah, we're doing okay. I'm third highest in the game. My team's actually doing okay, because if you notice, they're outside of their top 2 people with gold, our team is actually doing pretty good with distribution of gold and everything. Also, remember, we have 2 marksmen, so as the game goes on more and more, we're going to get stronger and stronger. And pretty soon, I will be able to blow up the enemy top laner. So that will also help a lot. Once again, I'm just worried about Orochi. They are kind of having that look, which means that I am going to send something flying through there to just kind of, you know, don't do it. Don't do it. Just have the fear in you. Put the fear in them. They're probably in that bush, so I'm not going to be the one to face check that bush. We see their top laner is top, so actually this is a good time for us to fight when we had numbers. Unfortunately, we did not fight, and she's jumping around. She died. So me and her trade out. I'm actually happy with that because she is a big issue right now for the team, and her team actually gets baited in by that, and they're low because we were just poking at them. And so we have actually turned that into our favor, actually. And oh no, she could have got away. Oh well. So, okay, that went against us at the end. But yeah, anyways, I mean, we're still doing okay. They're still not getting Orochi, so they're not getting high ground towers. So that is a win in my book. This video has ended up showing a great example of how to recover from a very bad game, because I am obviously starting terribly. I am 1-5, but I'm still also leading in gold. So, I mean, it shows you that, you know, even if you play poorly, you can still kind of hang in games, which I like. They went for Kraken, which is interesting. I'm not really sure why they would go for Kraken. I would have definitely Orochi'd if I was them. Same issue. I just want to farm up right now. We saw her bottom. I'm kind of watching if she comes, right? And the problem with her is we already saw she can just straight up tower dive me. So it's like I need to really, really keep distance. Thankfully, my team is coming back to collapse in on her. Their team is stacking with their squishies. Let's ult on their engagement route. Hopefully get people caught. Yep. So the reason I ulted there and it worked is it kind of zoned out the enemies. So nice. Oh, finally what happened I wanted to happen. She blew her load on somebody else, so I can come in and now I am alive to follow up on everything, which is awesome. My team's going to chase that, but I am going to push waves because we have 4 kills. We have all 5 down. I am going to rush Orochi. Another thing, remember we talked about marksmen. When they start hitting, they start hitting. So if you notice this damage that's going to go onto Orochi is going to be sickening. And enhance and just blow all my abilities because all the enemies are dead. I don't need to save anything and just blow it up. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to rush. I'm going to push lanes. After I push lanes, I am going to grab buffs if I can, but the enemies are going to be rezzing. So I want to push waves, and then I want to group up with my team. So my team is most likely going to go mid. I'm kind of counting in my head. Right now, the enemies probably could have ran to about mid lane. right? So now I don't want to risk pushing one more wave. I'm going to use my haste, kind of group up with my team here. So yeah, there's that girl again. And if you noticed, I still want to farm up, but also if you noticed that last time, basically the people I just need to be scared of are just the top, because outside of her, I can basically crush their team. Nice, we're going to throw that in their escape route. We got our enhancement on here. We're going to use our haste. We don't need to run away. She jumps in. We got our heal. Bam. And remember what we talked about, right? Marksman, carry in. We just need to make it towards that late game. We got that damage. We got our haste coming. He's going to try to run. He can't run from us. Other great thing about Hakuro is that haste, and that should be game. 5 kills. Mid's already pushing in if you notice, and we should have bottom easy. This should be game or really, really, really close. And yep, the enemies surrender. So anyways, that is not my proudest game ever, but it was a really good game. It shows how you can really start poorly. Don't give up on games. You can definitely come back. Know from the beginning, know your win condition. I knew I'm on a marksman, which means my win condition is make it to late game, get really strong. And you saw the enemy laner just owning on me, but I still recovered in lane, even though I fed her a shitload of kills and just got back into the game. But anyways, as always, have a great day, and I will see you next time. Take care. Okay, that does it for today's video. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you did. Also, it really helps me if you will share this video around so that other people can join the Squirrel Nation and just join our great community we have going on. But anyways, as always, I'll see you all tomorrow, and happy ranking.